All right. Well, welcome everybody to the 2023 guide to Google Maps and how to get your roofing company ranked in the map area, which is a super important thing to do these days. What's interesting is that Google has changed quite a bit in the past year. And of course, Google is a moving target. They are constantly changing things and they're constantly moving things around and adding new features and stuff like that to Google My Business. So some of these features that we're going to go over today are literally hot off the press. Okay. So some of the other things that we're going to go over today are essentially, we're going to talk about some very, very cutting edge stuff when it comes to Google Maps. Okay. So let's just jump right into it. Today, obviously, we're going to talk about how to get ranked in Google Maps and the 3-pack specifically. Okay. So the 3-pack is just the obvious, most people understand what that means. Sometimes it's referred to as the map pack as well. One of the most important areas nowadays, to get ranked in. And so a lot of our strategy and a lot of marketing company strategies are to ensure that you are ranked in those areas. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to build trust on your website because really Google is all about trust nowadays. And really Google Maps, your Google business profile, it used to be called Google My Business, right? Your Google business profile and your website are very tightly entwined. Okay. And it's very, very, very important to have a trusted website as well as a trusted listing, if you want to rank in the top 3 in your area. We're also going to talk about how to build relevant backlinks that really move the needle inside of the Google listings areas. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few kind of ninja hacks as far as that goes. Speaking of ninja hacks, we're going to talk about some really cool hacks that you can do that, some of them, Ross, who is also on this, and he's my operations manager, right? And I met with our mastermind group yesterday. And this is, a couple hundred other agency owners and on the very cutting edge of Google Business and Google Business, rankings and Google Maps rankings and Google rankings and stuff like that. Anyways, some of the ninja hacks that I'm going to share with y'all today was literally shared with us yesterday. And some of them are so hot off the press. It's ridiculous, that cutting edge stuff that is working today. I want to congratulate y'all, for showing up to this, because it's important to work on your business and not in your business and not get stuck working in your business all the time. Right. I'm a business owner. And sometimes you get sucked into the day-to-day stuff and you forget about the bigger picture, the bigger strategy type issues, right? The strategy things that you need to be focusing on. And that's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Chris. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I live in Powell, Texas, which is 90 miles northwest of Houston area. Okay. I'm the father of 3. You can see the picture here of all of us. I've got an Eagle Scout and almost Eagle Scout. Oh my gosh, she's about to be 12. So almost 12-year-old. All right. I've been doing search engine optimization since 1998. Before Google even started or even launched. So that really, really dates me, but I've been a geek behind the scenes on a lot of websites and a lot of client work, as well as work on my own websites. Okay. I'm on a mission to double the size of 100 roofing companies by 2028. I sat down a couple of years ago to try to figure out exactly where we were going, what was the vision of roofingsites.com. And what we came up with, me and my team, was, hey, we want to double the size of 100 roofing companies. Okay. So that's what our mission is. Random fact, I'd love to backpack in the mountains with my sons. In fact, I'm going to Philmont Scout Ranch in 3 weeks from now. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks on the trail, and we're going to be hiking out there in the middle of northern New Mexico in the mountains. So I think our highest mountain that we're going to be going up is around 13,000 feet. So I've been furiously working on getting my body into shape in order to keep up with these 2 boys. Okay, so enough about me. Let's talk about the 4R roofing marketing system. Right, this is something that I have developed over the past 20 years in the marketing industry, and it is something plain works, and it is made up of 4 pillars. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because we really want to jump into Google Business Profile and all that kind of stuff on how to get ranked in the Google Maps area. But real quickly, the roofer marketing system is made up of 4 pillars. Okay, it's made up of reputation, reach, resell, and referral. Reputation To me, this is your very solid, your foundation of all of your marketing. If you don't have this correct, just like in a house, when you're building a house and the foundation isn't correct, it's just not going to work. So you want to make sure that you have a solid reputation. Reach, that pillar is simply getting in front of more people today than knew about you yesterday. What we're going to talk about is a small portion of this entire system inside of the reach area. Resell. You're 8 times more likely to sell to somebody that has actually purchased from you before. So it just makes sense to have a resell system in place. And then referrals. Well, most of our businesses are built off of referrals, but yet as you scale your company, the harder and harder it becomes to actually have a referral system in place. Okay. So jumping into what we're going to talk about here today, we're going to talk about these Google Maps, right? And how to really fine tune what you guys are doing in order to get ranked. Chat. Okay, so why should you rank in Google Maps? Well, for most people, this is an obvious reason, right? But a lot of people don't understand really the power of ranking in Google Maps. So I've got a few little memes here, right? I love to use these memes. So the first one on the left says, before the internet, we used yellow pages, right? Well, the yellow pages are no longer work. It's a well-known fact. They no longer work, and they've been replaced by these $1,000 machines that we have sitting in our pockets, right? So it just makes sense to optimize everything for that instead of using something like the yellow pages. The next, and this is what we are currently seeing right now, is that Google Business Profile is generating at least 70% of all phone calls for our clients, okay? So the hard part, though, about all of this is that there's only 3 spots, literally only 3 spots. And it's very geocentric, oriented, meaning that the closer you are to the place that people are searching for you, the better chance you have of actually showing up. Okay. So let's talk about EAT, right? Google's been talking and so they used to have this thing that they came out, this acronym that they came out with EAT, EAT, okay, which stands for expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. Expertise and authority are super important, but trustworthiness right now is almost trumping over everything right now, okay? Experience is a new part to this entire algorithm. And so experience just simply means, are people actually engaging with your brand? Are they actually clicking on likes on Google, on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn? And are they actually going to your website? Are they engaging in the content that you have on your website? Are they, Google knows all of these things, right? They know how long people spend on your website. So if your website, remember in the 4R marketing system, the very base of that is your reputational part of that is your website. If your website is, people are bouncing from your website, as soon as they get there, Google knows. And so they're not going to give you a good, ranking, just simply, they're not going to reward you because of that experience. People are having a bad experience. Okay. So anyways, all of these factor in to the Google algorithm these days. And you have to really digest and look at each one of these pieces for not only your website, but also this applies talking about today, your Google Business Profile. And so you can rank inside of the Maps area. Okay. Number 1, you have to start with an audit. All right. The audit is like the first part of our process, and it should be the first part of your process as well. But it is literally one of the most important things that you can possibly do. And that's simply because you've got to look at what the competition is doing. When I first went into business, right, as a web design company here in College Station, Texas, the very first thing that I did was I audited my competition to see what they were doing and how they were ranking, right? And I just literally did exactly what they did and then did it better. Okay. It's King of the Hill. Okay. Everyone knows what that King of the Hill is. The game that you played when you were a kid. Well, SEO is exactly that. Is exactly King of the Hill. Okay. So we want to make sure that we audit. And what do you do when you audit? Well, you're looking to see, what keywords are they ranking for? All of the little factors that we're going to go over here today. But basically you want to do for yourself and your competition first, the very first thing that you do anything with. Okay. Next, you want to maintain consistent and accurate name, address, and phone number. We call this NAP. Okay. Across all of your local citations. So one of the things that we do, right, and that anyone in our industry knows how to do, is that we create citations. Okay, a citation is simply the name, address, and phone number inside of all sorts of different directories online. Places like Yelp, places even like Facebook, places like, there's literally hundreds of these different directories, but basically name, address, phone number. And for me, I also want to make sure that I have a consistent website that it is going to. So if your website is HTTPS, // whatever, right? www.yourdomain.com. Make sure that is consistent throughout all of your citations. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. But consistency really is the key as far as that goes. All right. Make sure that on your address, all right, this is super important. This is something that we talked about in my mastermind group yesterday, is that there's so many folks inside of home service industries that use a service area business listing on their Google business profile. Okay. And that's okay. However, if you are competing against companies that have a physical location, right? If they have a physical location, you're going to have a hard time competing and getting on that rank map. You want to make sure that if your competition all have physical locations, that you also have a physical location, a commercial address, and not your home address. Okay. That's the key. That is the most important part here, is that, and this is something that I see a lot in the roofing industry, is that there will be, you'll base it out of your home. Okay. Your business out of your home, and you won't have a physical location, an actual office building. And that's what you want to look for. That's super, super important to actually ensure that you are, setting yourself up for success. Okay. So I can't stress that one enough. If you are set up on your home address, one that provides a security issue, if you show the list, the address in all of your citations in your actual Google business profile, if you show that address, it becomes a security issue, right? So go down. And in my mastermind group yesterday, we talked about this, and they said, basically what you want to do is that you want to set up an actual physical location. Okay. Go down and rent out an office somewhere. Okay. Make sure it's not Regis. Make sure it's not a virtual office. Okay. Make sure that it's actually a physical location, because Google will, when you verify your Google business profile, okay, they will ask you to show a video. They'll have you use your phone and walk you through your office, and there needs to be someone there during business hours. There needs to be someone answering the phone during business hours, and more importantly, someone there to greet walk-in traffic. Okay, so that's what is important to Google, because there's so much spam out there in Google Maps area that they're trying to combat that. And the way that they can do that is ensure that you actually have a physical commercial office. Okay. Now, and I just talked about this one, right? Show the actual address in all of your name, address in your NAP, right? In the citations, make sure your address is actually showing, right? Don't just use your home address and invest. And so this is the second time that I've talked about that here, make sure that you have that commercial office. Okay. Set up and maintain a account. This is kind of a thing, right? But you have to start there. Make sure that you actually claim and verify your Google business profile. Okay. And once you do that, then go ahead and fill out every single section that they give you, right? The more that you fill out and the more that you put into every single section inside of that Google business profile, the more they'll reward you. Okay. And now, so they've gone away from an actual separate app type thing to it's built into the actual listings, right? When you search for your name, for your company name and put it in there, right? It shows in these little tiles. Fill out all the tiles, fill them all out, right? When it says ask for photos, go ahead and put photos in. When it asks for your services, right? Go ahead and put your services and your products in, put all of those things in. And by the way, go ahead and make sure that you put descriptions in on all of those things. Don't just put, that you do roof repair. Okay. By the way, we've tested this, right? And that right now, adding services and products in and fully filled out and optimized, just simply doing it, you ranked right now. That is what is working currently right now inside of their algorithm. Okay. So if you haven't filled that out, fill it out. All right. So now the next thing that works for us, okay, is authority local citations, right? So what is that? So it's basically your Chamber of Commerce, Better Business Bureau, any associations, like for instance, we're part of the Roofing Contractors Association of Texas, RCAT. We're also part of the Houston Area Roofing Contractors Association. We're also part of the National Roofing Contractors Association. All of those are authority backlinks that you can get, and authority listings, right, that you can get that Google, that shows the trust, right, and builds trust with Google. Okay. This is super, super critical, and make sure that you link, right, your website the way that it pulls up, right? Literally what we do is we copy the link from the browser window and paste it into any directory listing. Make sure that it down to the character, that your name, address, and phone number all match up. Okay. This is for all of your citations. Okay. Make sure all of those things match up down to the character, right? Whatever it shows, and this is my rule of thumb, is that whatever it shows on Google Business Profile is how we do that. Okay. Everything else should align from there. So for instance, instead of typing out South, right, if on Google Business, on your Google Business Profile, that their address that they have there is S dot, you want to make sure that it's S dot, right, in all the way through every single one of your citations. Okay. Make it as consistent as you possibly can. All right. Now get and earn, right, quality backlinks from local citations, niche directories, and other high authority sites. Okay, we use, so a couple of places that you can use, all right, is WhiteSpark, Bright Local. We use Moz Local. There's Yext. You can manually put them into each of these directories, right? But we use tools to help us out. So they use like aggregators that you put it in once and it aggregates out to each of the main, directory websites. So make sure, again, all of it is about consistency. All of it is about trust and authority as far as that goes. Okay. So the more that you have of these, the more consistent that you are, the better you're going to be ranked. Okay. All right. Make sure that, inside of the tags on your website, if you're using WordPress, okay, and you've got schema set up and you're properly using categories and tags, on your blog posts on your website, put in those cities in there. Okay. Make sure that Google understands what your service area is. Okay. Schema is a little bit different. Schema is some backend geek code, right, that basically tells Google what your website is all about. All right, when it comes there and it spiders your website, it's like a little cheat code for Google. Okay, so there's all sorts of different schemas out there, and you can get way deep in the weeds on that. But they're basically, you want a local business schema set up for your main service pages. Okay. Make sure you fill out everything correctly. Make sure that the name, address, and phone number is correct inside of that schema. Okay. And there are plugins for WordPress in order to do all of this stuff. Okay. And then make sure that you've got blog schema, right, in on your blogs. Okay. Just those two simple things right there will put you heads and shoulders above anybody else in the industry, because literally nobody is doing that. Let's set up also location and geo silos. What's a silo, right? A silo is literally a directory that you add on your website. Okay. So think of it as here in College Station, right? We'll have a College Station page. Okay. But real close to us is Bryan. So we'll also have a Bryan page. Inside of the College Station page, we'll have College Station Roofing, right? College Station Roofers, College Station Roofing Company, right? College Station or re-roof in College Station, roof repair in College Station. So those all be under the College Station. If you looked at it in a hierarchical form, right, you want to make sure that's essentially what you're building. Now, a silo also links from one page to the next page. Okay. Talking about your website at this point, this has absolutely nothing to do with major sales of what your service area is. Okay. And it's building trust that you have this area inside of your website. Okay. And it rewards you both in organic SEO as well as in SEO.
That was about the schema information that you're saying is a little bit something that nobody does, right? Is the schema information. So you said to include the city, town, and all of the tags. Okay. As well as the schema information on your website. So if you could just explain one more time that, so you can I can understand it a little better.
So schema is essentially this code that nobody else sees other than Google. Okay. And Google came up with this schema code, I don't know, about 10 years ago at this point, I think. Right. And the short and skinny of it is that there are plugins, right, that you can use. I'm not sure the exact plugin that we use for this. I think it's all-in-one SEO. Inside of all-in-one SEO on a plugin for WordPress, okay, you can put in specific things in there, right? And when you choose to use the local schema, basically you're going to tell it what city that you're in, what your service area is, your name, address, phone number, what kind of business that you have, what services that you have, basically all of the same stuff that's inside of Google Business Profile. They want you to embed that using the schema code inside of a single page on your website. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So inside the website, we're also on the pages and on the posts and blog entries and things like that, also included in there as tags.
Exactly. Now the tags are a little bit different, right? So the tags are a little bit different inside of WordPress. You've got categories and tags for every blog post. Okay. And what you want to do for that is add the city. Okay. So let's say that you're doing, 10 things you need to know about your roof, right? 10 ways to know that your roof needs repair. Okay. So that'd be a primary, blog post, but you'd want to put in the category as roofing, right? Or roof repair in this case. And then the tags, you want to put in something like College Station roof repair. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So basically you're just giving Google all of these signals that you're in College Station, right? Yes. Or you're in Houston, or you're in Austin or Dallas, wherever that you're located at. You're giving every single bit of signals that you can to Google. Okay. If you're going to target other cities, know this, that Google Business Profile and linking in the maps is very, very dependent on your location. Okay. So you want to make sure that remember we talked about that getting an address, getting an office, right? If you don't have an office, well, if it were me, what I would do is when I was looking at an office, I would look at the geocentric center of that area that you want to rank in, and making sure that's the address that I would get. Okay. The further you are away from that center, the less likely you're going to be able to rank in Google Maps in that center. Does that make sense? So if it were me, again, I would get an office that is in the center of College Station, or as close as I could find to the center of College Station. All right.
Gotcha.
And make sure that you can set up all of these signals that you're going to give to Google based off of that specific address. All right. So let's talk about trust signals, right? That's part of the Google algorithm here, are trust signals. Okay. So there are several things, and I'm just going to go ahead and list all of these out. Okay. So brand authority, it's Google that you have authority built around your brand. Okay. What does this mean? Well, this means that if you are XYZ or ABC roofing company, right, that you have built a brand and you've built authority around that brand, meaning that you're doing all sorts of things inside of your community. You are advertising on local sites. You are, blogging, you're vlogging, video blogging, you're posting on the social, you're doing all of these things that are building your brand. Okay. So you want to build that authority around your brand. Okay. Other thing to know, that if you have a brand new listing, right? If you just set up your Google Business Profile and it's under 30 days, it's under 6 months, it's a year or so, you're going to have a harder time getting that ranked. Okay. Until that listing ages. Okay. Google favors listings, okay, properties that are aged. Okay. So just know that. And there's a couple of other things that also affects. That also affects reviews. Okay. So we've had issues lately with some of our clients that have brand new listings. Okay. That are trying to get reviews, because reviews are huge for getting ranked. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're getting reviews on a regular basis. Well, if you have a brand new listing, a brand new profile, okay, some of those reviews might not stick. Okay. Don't worry about it too much. They're still going to be there and they will eventually show. Okay. Just continue working on getting more and more and more reviews. Okay. So it is all about trust with Google these days. Okay. Let's talk about the verification method. Okay. So getting your listing verified, okay, is a little bit more difficult nowadays than it used to be. And that's because Google is just getting spammed all to get out on, the maps area. They're getting spammed quite a bit. Okay. So we've listed out the verification methods that are the highest trusted to lowest trusted. All right. So double verified. All right. There's a way to get double verified for your listing, meaning that you did the postcard to verify it at first, maybe, and then you had to do the video verification that you would do live with Google Rep, which is right, live video recorded, meaning that you sometimes they request that you walk through your office, right, with your phone. All right, I'm lifting this right here, but it's really my phone right here, and to take a video of it and send your video into them. Okay, the next one down is postcard. This is something that has been around for a long, long time. The next is email, and the next is phone. They don't really do phone verifications much anymore. They don't do email verifications much anymore because they've just gotten spammed so much. So the first couple of ones are the most trusted. Total number of reviews, and we're talking about trust here. These are all trust signals, things that build trust with Google. The more trusted that your listing is, the more they're going to reward you by ranking you in the 3-pack. Okay, so total number of reviews. I talked about that a few minutes ago, but reviews are super, super important. Always work on getting reviews. Okay. Review velocity, meaning that how fast are you getting those reviews? Did you get 15 in one day and none the next 6 months? Well, that's an issue, right? You want to stay consistent with getting those reviews. So after every single job that you guys do a new re-roof, ask for a review. Ask for it several different ways, right? Ask for it in person, ask for it via email, via text message, and have someone follow up and call. We've had the most success doing that last piece right there is just simply calling to ask for a review. So make sure you're doing all of that and giving yourself a leg up. Okay. Now, sometimes your listing might get triggered and suspended. A lot of businesses view this as a bad thing. We view it as a good thing. Okay. Yeah, it's bad initially, but it's good because your listing, once it gets verified again, it's going to be good for the next 12, 18 months. Easy. Okay. So it's okay if it is suspended. It's not the end of the world. Yes, you're going to miss out on a few leads while it's becoming unsuspended, but it's going to make it stronger and more trusted. Okay. In the long run. Now, back-end engagement, this is about, how many people are actually engaging with your listing? Are people clicking on the phone, to call? Are people actually going to your website? Are they leaving reviews? Are they looking at reviews? Are they clicking the thumbs up on the reviews, right? Are they going to look at your holiday hours? Are you adding holiday hours? There's a lot of things that go into Google Business Profile that you should be doing on a regular basis, right? And the more regular, the more consistent that you stay with it all, the better. Okay. And this is an obvious one, but complete your entire profile, right? Make sure that you put your logo in there, that if you've got multiple locations, you put the different store codes in for the multiple locations, you put images, you put pictures, you put images at your office, on the job, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you have everything completely filled out 100%. All right. Google Business Profile Trust Signals. These are some other things. Now, these are some ninja hacks right here. All right. Local sponsorships. All right. This, I cannot stress this enough. All right. If you have a little league around you, everyone's got little leagues, everyone's got softball, right? And here it's the Brazos Valley Girls Softball Association, right? If you sponsor, ask for a link to your website from their website. Okay. Make sure that you get some social media exposure on that. Make sure that if you are sponsoring, press release on it. Press releases are huge, right? And they're huge trust signals for Google, right? So this one right here, normally businesses go out and they sponsor things anyways. Just make sure that you get something out of that for yourself, for your business. All right. Host a local community event, right? Good things are like food drives, Christmas, toy drives, something like anything that you can do to get your word out for your company helps, not just for regular, newsworthy type stuff, but if you're getting backlinks back to your website, those backlinks are gold. Okay. So do these things as much as you can. Create a local resource page. This is a no-brainer. Nobody does this. Create a page on your website about your community and link back to specific things. You can link back to your Chamber of Commerce. You can link back to the Better Business Bureau, to the Small Business Association, any local, or help sponsor or help with, right? Link back to those things too. Those are all trust signals that you're sending to Google. Okay. This is a ninja hack right here. So pay attention. Sponsor a scholarship. Scholarship could be $300, $500 a year, something like that, right? But you can get some majorly good backlinks that come back to your website, which again builds the trust, which again will help your Google business profile, the 3-pack. Okay, get into the 3-pack. Reach out to the schools, school districts, offer a scholarship, right? It's scholarship season right now. Actually, we're a little bit past that, but something to keep in mind for next year, right? These are .edu links. These are very trusted links, right? These are very trusted domains to get links back to your website from. Okay, so very, very important. Make sure that if you're going to spend any money, $300, $500 is a drop in the bucket for such a well-trusted backlink. Okay. Pitch guests to local sites in your area, or guest posts, right? So in your area, there are all sorts of different blogs and news sites and stuff like that. Do a guest post, right? Talk about the things that you should be posting on your website, right? But talk about those things inside of these other news websites, right? They're all over the place. They're pretty easy to find in your local area, but those build super strong links to your website because these are known sources. Google knows all about these places, and these are very trusted. Okay. Host an interview with a local celebrity. This is kind of fun, right? And promote the interview to blogs and local news outlets, right? There's local celebrities everywhere, right? And so find those people, pull out your phone, right? And interview them. Put that video into a blog, share it to all of your social sites, then share it out to your local news outlets. Okay. Something again that a lot of these things absolutely nobody is doing. All right. So let's talk about how to get reviews, because we know now how important those things are. And if I didn't stress that enough, right? If you want to get ranked on Google Business Profile in Google Maps area, in the 3-pack specifically, you have got to have reviews coming in on a regular basis. These things are hand in hand. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're actually doing it, right? And making sure that you're doing it consistently, right? Get it. Like I said earlier, if you get 15 today and nothing in the next 6 months, that's a huge signal to Google that you might not even be in business anymore, right? So that's literally the last thing that we want to happen with Google. Okay. You want to make sure that you get positive online reviews. Okay. The positive number, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, but the 4s and 5s have way more trust signals, way more authority signals built for Google than a 1 to a 3. So work on getting those 5-star reviews. And that's a no-brainer because Google wants to show the people who have the most trust, right? Up at top, on the top, right? In the top 3. If you've got 20 roofers in your area, 100, if you're in the DFW area, you're literally competing against 2,000 other roofers. Okay. So there are only 3 spots in each area. So you want to make sure that you do absolutely everything that you can in order to get up there. Part of that is ensuring that you do a 5-star service for your customers, that they receive a 5-star service, and that they post out a 4 or 5-star, review. So you can do this you can also get more reviews by adding a QR code to the back of your business card. Kind of a no-brainer. You can get a free QR code made. I think it's qrcodegenerator.com. Just look up QR code generator. Put them on the back of your business cards, right? So as you finish a job, ask them to leave a review, right? And say, use this card to go directly to the review, and make sure that it goes directly to Google, right? To the Google review. Or if you've got a page that people can submit, like all of our clients have a page to go to leave those. Okay. So just make sure that you do that. Put it on your invoices, put it everywhere, and make sure that people know about this. Okay. All right. So the ranking factor signals related to online reviews, right? Super important. Frequency, we've talked about that. Diversity. So diversity is kind of an interesting topic here. What this means is that, like, getting reviews on Facebook, okay, getting reviews on Yelp, getting reviews on Foursquare. I don't know. There's tons of places that you can get reviews on, right? If you diversify all of those reviews where you're sending people to get those reviews, okay, you're going to have a better position of actually having them stick, if that makes any sense. Okay. And again, the more diversified that your review profile is, it's almost like a backlink profile, right? Your review profile, the more diversified it is, different sites that you have reviews on, the more trust it's going to build with Google. And I put down here the initial milestone, get over 10 reviews. Okay. I would highly recommend that you shoot for at least 100. I did an audit of around 1,000 Google My Business listings at that time when I did this about a year and a half ago. I went through 1,000 of them. And you'd be surprised at how very little roofing companies have over 100 reviews. Y'all do like 5 to 10, roofs per week. Why in the world would you not have, 100, 200, 300 reviews, okay, out there? So concentrate on getting at least 10 reviews if you do not have them right now. All right. And we talked about this. I'm going to briefly go over this, but 4 and 5 star reviews help. They help a lot. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you're constantly working on getting those glowing reviews. Now, once you get those reviews, you also want to make sure that you're sharing them out. Okay. Because we don't want them to be sitting out there on an island. We're sharing them on our website, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and anywhere else that we could possibly share those things. Okay. Yeah. So those 4 and 5 star reviews, they just make you look more credible, right? And again, it's all about building trust with Google these days. Ninja hack 1, how do you amplify your review signals? I just talked about this, right? Use your review screenshots as images and posts, right? For press releases, blog posts, inside of anywhere and everywhere that you can use this, go ahead and use that. Google Business Profile post, right? With a third-party review image, just take a screenshot of it and share it on your Google Business Profile, right? Along with the link and text to actually get to that review. Link to the reviews. This is a no-brainer, in my opinion. Use third-party review sites like Yelp and talk about that, and use a plugin for your website with links, right, to those reviews. Nobody has this set up. We use it. I'm not sure the exact plugin that we use for all of our clients, but it looks good, and you want to make sure that you're actually have that. And I think I've got a screenshot of it right here. Yeah. So this is what we use. This is what it looks like. This is directly from Google from one of my clients. Okay. And I just literally took a screenshot of this. It right here. So you want to make sure that you're actually doing that. And again, it's all about the signals. It's all about the trust that you're building with Google. The more that you have of these things, the more that you're sharing these things out, the better chance you're going to get to be ranked in that 3-pack. Okay. Next, how do you amplify, right? Oops, I've got a little issue right here, but amplify your service area signals. This is something that we do with our clients, and I don't see anybody doing this. Number 1, take pictures with this $1,000 machine sitting in your pocket. Okay. After every single job, go to the job site, take a picture. The reason that we're doing that is because the latitude and longitude is embedded in every single one of these pictures. It's creepy, but it's posted in the metadata for each one of these pictures. Post that first to your website. We use a little section, like a profile, job post section where you're showing those pictures. Okay. Post them to the website, then post to your business profile, right? Your Google business profile, then syndicate it out to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. What this does is this is showing massive signals to Google of what your service area is. And I can't stress this enough. Okay. This right here can get you ranked in the 3-pack very quickly just by simply doing this little ninja hack right here.
So do we go ahead and we use our phones then and do it from us, not from our clients, right? It's from us in this case?
Yes. Okay. Now, to piggyback on this, if you can have them take a picture and leave a review with that picture from their location, from their phone, that is a massive signal, right? And that builds massive trust with Google. But what I'm talking about here is really an on-site hack where you're putting it on your website, and then you're also posting it to all the socials, including Google Business Profile, right? But it's coming from an iPhone, it's coming from an Android. Both of them embed the latitude and longitude, okay? Google's looking at that, okay? And they're getting to know what your service area is by simply doing that, okay? All right. And this is basically what it looks like for our clients. We post them onto their homepage. We post them onto every single one of their pages on their entire website. That has this latest projects. Again, it's all about the signals. We're making sure that Google understands that if I've got 100 pages and I've got 100 of these, on each of those pages, right, that you can go and you can look at all these jobs. One, it's showing people your quality work. Everyone here does quality work, right? You put on great roofs on every single one of your clients. Obviously, most of these, you want to show off the really nice jobs. I say show off every single job. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's all about the signals. All right, ninja hack number 3, Google Business Profile Map. This is brand spanking new, right, with Google. Okay. So literally this little section showed up, Ross, what was it, a day or two ago, right?
Like maybe a week, if that. I mean, this thing.
Yeah.
This just came out this week with a new algorithm with Google.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically what you want to do is when you see that, just go ahead and click on it. Okay. And by the way, these little tiles here on your listing, okay, you want to make sure that you fill every single thing out, follow their directions. Okay. But this right here, add them to your contact page. If you got multiple locations, make sure that you have it on multiple contact, or multiple, right? Showing that if you've got 3 locations, these are the 3 locations. And when I say locations, I mean like your offices. Going back to that illustration, is make sure that you've got your name, address, phone number, plus this map right there. Okay. And I've got an illustration here, and let me see if I can get it pulled up.
And this is a brand new map. It's their Google Cloud map is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
So if you use an old iframe map or something, that's good too, but use this one in addition to.
Go through the directions, copy the code, send it, put it embedded into your website. We did it on ours. I literally just went through it this morning and went ahead and put it on there just to see how easy it was. It took me 5 minutes to do. These are all of the local, so I've got our Heroes, which is our parent company, roofingsites.com. Okay. So got all 3 of those locations in there. I'll probably take out the church, leave Marketing Heroes and Roofing Sites in there, but I just wanted to show you that this is basically how it looks. I think that you can get it to look a little nicer, a little bit bigger of a map. But again, it's all about signals, right? So Google doesn't care how big that it is. It doesn't, they just want you to be able to use their tools, right? Any tool that use it, fill it out, do anything and everything that you can possibly do. Okay, so we talked about a lot today. How do you actually do this, right? And here is your checklist. Optimize your Google Business Profile listing. Verify it if you haven't verified it, right? But go ahead and optimize it. Fill out every single tiny little thing inside of there, including work hours, phone numbers, all those kinds of things, okay? Create your services. This is super important right now. Okay, create those services if you don't have those in there. Roof replacement, roofing, roofer, they'll let you add those in as your services. Make sure that you add descriptions in with each one of those things. Okay, create and align all of your citations. Use something like Moz Local, Yext, or something like that to align all of those to make it a little bit easier. Start building backlinks, right? Build them not only to your website, build them to your Google business profile as well. It's a Google property. Google really, really, really loves it when you link back to their stuff. Okay. Get reviews on a regular basis. If you don't have a review system in place, contact us. We do have something easily affordable that you can use that we call the review machine that you can start getting, and it works really, really well to get reviews, but make sure, and it's soft that helps you do this, that uses email as well as text messages in order to get reviews for your roofing company. Okay. Answer those reviews, right? Good or bad, doesn't matter. Every single one that comes in, right? Just answer them. Thank you so much for the 5-star review. We love our customers. We love providing a 5-star service for all of our customers, right? Something nice and easy. Make sure you mix that up. Don't say the same exact thing after every single one, right? Do it fast, meaning don't wait 6 months from now to actually reply to something. If you've got something that is a bad review, a simple, and this is what I tell all my clients, make sure that you just say, you don't have to tell your side of the story. Just simply say, we're so sorry, we missed the mark. Give us a call at my number, whatever the phone number is, right? Give us a call at my phone number. We'll make it right. That's what people want to see. Literally, that's all they want to see. Okay. So don't go into your story. Don't get defensive. It happens. Sometimes spam happens too, right? Report that as spam. Someone from the other side of the world leaves you a 1-star review. It happens, and it happens to clients a lot. It happens to us. Sometimes we've had people leave us a bad review that we never even worked with. So, just in that case, if they've never worked with you, just simply say that. I'm sorry, I don't see in our database, possibly wrong company. Give us a call. Okay. Syndicate those reviews on websites, socials, and Google Business Profile. Okay. We talked about that. And then take pictures of every single job and syndicate those on the website, all your social, and Google Business Profile. All right. This is your checklist. Take a screenshot of this, right? This will be posted on YouTube a little bit later if you want to go back to this at any point, but this is literally your checklist to use in order to rank on Google Business Profile. First thing let's go over a little bit of on-site, right? Meaning your website first, a few things that you can do to help with your Google Business Profile. And then we'll talk about the actual Google Business Profile. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So first things first on this website, right, is that you want to make sure that you have a page for each one of these. Okay. And not just a singular page with everything on it. Okay. Google likes separate pages. They favor separate pages. So it helps you to have a separate page for your area, roof installation, whatever. Where's your, you said Georgia, but where in Georgia? Smyrna? Did I say that right?
Yeah. In the Atlanta area. We cover all of that metro. Yeah. Okay.
So Smyrna, right? And so you and one thing that we talked about at our mastermind yesterday, and I highly, highly agree with this, is that, okay, you're trying to rank for Atlanta. Okay. That's one of the most competitive areas in the nation, by the way.
Yes.
But you're trying to rank in Atlanta. You want to rank first and dominate first in your local, where you're actually located first, and then move outwards geocentrically from there. Okay. So if I were doing this site, I would make sure that there were pages for Smyrna with all of these and then some. Okay. So our clients, they get 400 of these types of pages.
Wow.
Right from the get-go. And we add 400 more of those types of pages every single quarter until they get to around 3,000 pages. Okay. We choose every tiny itsy bitsy little keyword that people might search for plus a location. Do you have to do this? No. Right. Choose roof company, roofer, roof repair, roof installation, a roof inspection is another one, right? So pick those 5 and then whatever your location is, right? So it'd be roof inspections in Smyrna, Georgia. Okay. That would be a whole separate page that is optimized. It probably has around, 1,000 words on that page and all about Smyrna, all about frequently asked questions about roof inspections that you normally would get. It would have optimized text. It would have, those reviews that we were talking about that you've got embedded in on that page, your jobs, all of those things, again, these are all signals that you want to do. And then you want to link from one page to the next. So in this case, we would rank a put a link in the roof installation page to the roof inspection page. And in the roof inspection page, we would link to the roof repair page. Okay. And then on the roof repair page, link all the way back to the roof installation page. Okay. So that's what's called a silo. Okay. Other things that I would like to see on this are your reviews, right? We talked about that, as well as your jobs, right? Pictures of your
latest
jobs.
projects.
Latest projects. Exactly. Right. And yeah. And just make sure that this page here, all of these pages are following proper SEO. Did a webinar last month about this, and you can go look at that on YouTube. But basically, you want to have your main area, and roofing company. So in this case, in your title tag, you want to have roofing company in Smyrna, Georgia, right? And then a pipe, right, with roofs up, Georgia, right? Your brand name. Okay. I would put that in the title. You also want to make sure that, you've got an H1 tag right here, meaning heading 1 tag, because H1 tags are they send a massive signal to Google that that's what this page is about. That in the title tag. Okay. So put, instead of your best local roofing company, you would say, roofing company, are you looking, I'd like asking questions. So are you looking for a roofing company in Smyrna, Georgia? Right here, big H1. Okay. You don't necessarily need to have the logo in here twice. Okay. You've already got it up here. So I would talk to the problems that people are having. Okay. They're looking for a roofing contractor. They're looking for a roofing company, right? Georgia's roofing contractor, your roofer in Atlanta and beyond. Again, I wouldn't make this about Atlanta. I would make it about Smyrna. Okay. Dominate your local area first. Okay. Get free estimate. And I'm getting a little in the weeds on this, but this button should stand out, right? Make it, really, really stand out. And you can use your brand colors on this, with that orange. Okay. You can make that there. I would also get a free estimate over up here in the top right, as well as your phone number, nice and big that people can click on. Okay. An example of this, and I had one open here, is one of our clients here in College Station, right? Notice we took absolutely everything out of the navigation here. They have literally a phone number and a big call to action button that stands out. The call to action button, by the way, is repeated all throughout every section, right? Because we call these cash registers. And just like at Walmart, you want to have multiple cash registers, in every section of the website. Okay. Let me get back to yours. Okay. So just needs more text about roofing in Smyrna, Georgia, right? And just to make sure that you give yourself a leg up there. Now, let's look at your Google business profile. So, let's name your business again, Roofs Up, Georgia. Okay. So first things first, you want to make sure that you, have you verified your listing yet with Google business profile? Because normally it's right.
So.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So it's going to be your very first thing that you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and verify it, set it up on profile, right? And the top link should be, how to go and get it set up. Okay. Go through all of that, fill out every section that you possibly can, and go through that checklist basically on every single week, whatever. Go through, add images, get more reviews, all of those things. Okay. So you're kind of at a fundamental part where you need to actually verify if there is, mine came up right here, right? These are the ones that are attached to my user. Every user that you have, right, on Google that you're signed in on will have one of these. We've got a lot more, obviously, but we sign in as a different user to manage those things.
And how do I check to see if it is verified or not?
The verification, you'll know that when you get a postcard or you get a call from them.
Okay.
Very rarely do they do calls anymore. Yeah.
Has done it yet, so I wasn't sure if there's any way to see if it is done or not done.
I'm not seeing, it doesn't seem like yours is based on what I'm also looking at either. I would type in, just like what Chris wrote there, type in Google business profile and then click on that first link and there's a whole get started aspect, and you'll start just going through. You got to actually claim your business. And then, like I said, or like Chris said, they'll send a postcard that takes up to 14 days to get it out. And that postcard just has like a 5-digit code on there. You enter that code, and then you can really start. That's going to be huge for your business right away. I mean, that's going to double your business almost instantly.
Yeah, it's a very new business. We basically started this year. Last year was business cards and website, and then this year's we're getting it off the ground. So it's a baby, but yeah, once we get that.
Yeah. Is this located, is that like a virtual office, or is that yes, an actual office?
It is a type of virtual office. Yes.
Okay. Just make sure it's not attached to Regis.
I don't think
a lot of people, a lot of people in the past 10 years have used Regis specifically in order to set up new locations, because with Regis, you can just call them up and get a virtual office, right? Where they'll take your mail, they'll answer the phone, all that kind of stuff. And so Google caught on to this a long time ago. And so unfortunately for those people who are legitimate businesses that have, Regis, they have a hard time actually getting verified on Google Business Profile. So
this one's called True Virtual
Make sure it's not a virtual. You might want to look around before you do get that verified then. And that's just my suggestion there, is just make sure that if it says virtual office in it, Google knows all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'd say you'd be almost better doing a home residence than a virtual office. Yeah. And a home residence isn't the best, but it's not horrible. This one, Google sometimes will see that there's multiple locations. Your business isn't on there, and you might get banned, and good luck getting it back at that point. It's pretty hard.
So as an example for us, right, the office that I'm in right now is geographically centered in College Station, and it's an actual office, right? I mean, you can look around here. There's this is my little office. So, but we've held on to this office. We're virtual now. Our entire business is virtual, and it has been for the past 3 years since the COVID lockdown. But we've held on to this office and paid for this office simply because I want the trust from Google, because we're a physically located business, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So those are my biggest suggestions. Work on the website, build out more pages, optimize these, and it's not hard stuff, just work on the title tag, add a H1 and H2 and H3, instead of right here, the most dedicated roofing company in Georgia, most dedicated roofing company in Smyrna, Georgia, right? And mix in Smyrna throughout the paragraphs, right? Don't stuff the keyword in there, but make sure that Google understands that you want to be ranked in Smyrna, Georgia. Okay. All right. Before we get off here, I have a few announcements. If you do not have a copy of this in your hand, this is my book, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you don't have this in your hand right now, I will send it to you for free to your physical location. Okay. Just go to go.roofingsites.com and I will send that out to you as a gift for showing up to our workshop today. Okay. So go ahead and use the QR code there and go get a copy. A lot of roofing company owners like to come to these workshops and learn about how all this stuff works. However, it's hard being a business owner, right? You want to know how it works, but if you'd like someone to help you with all of this stuff, we would love to help you. Just use the QR code over here on the right. And that will book a strategy session with me. We'll go over all of your marketing. We'll develop a customized plan for you in order to get you dominating in your local area. And we want to make sure that of course, our mission is to double the size of 100 roofing companies. So is your company going to be one of those? If so, schedule one of these strategy sessions with me. It's actually a 2-part session. The first part, we go over a lot of questions. Usually takes about an hour or so to go through. I want to learn as much about your business as possible. The second part is to actually have our team look at all of your marketing and develop a plan. And that way we can move forward with that plan. Y'all have a great rest of your week. and a great weekend coming up. Our next webinar will probably honestly be in August because July I'm going to be busy hiking in the mountains for half of the month, and then the other half is through a couple of business trips that I'll be making. So I'm not sure if we're going to have time to do another workshop in July, but August we'll probably double up and have two. Okay, one at the beginning of August and one at the end. All right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Talk to y'all later.